Hi, my name is Shadi, and on behalf of the Islamic Society of Markham, I would like to thank the Government of Canada for sponsoring the Anti-Racism Action Program. Today I will be interviewing the church members in our community that sponsored the Syrian refugees in coming to Canada.
I'm the volunteer coordinator for Welcome the Stranger. Welcome the Stranger is a group of 7 Mennonite and Be in Christ congregations in the Toronto, Markham, Stouffville area, and that we've been working for the last 6 years in working together, a collaborative effort in sponsorship of refugees. Of the 43 refugees that we've welcomed to Canada, 18 have been Muslim. And we've been asked, well, why are we sponsoring, if we're a Christian group, why do we sponsor Muslim families? And as followers of Jesus, loving God and loving your neighbors yourself is central to our faith, and Muslim families are our neighbors. And so we're delighted to do that. And the group that brings us the refugee families is Mennonite Central Committee Ontario. They've been doing this for over 40 years. And they accept refugees and refer refugees to groups like ours based on need, not on religion or the country that they're from.
Can you please shed some light on the Welcome Stranger program?
We have a similar program to that in the Anglican Church, and we work together with an organization called Anglican United Refugee Alliance, ORA for short. And they have over 30 years experience of working with private sponsorship. It's something that we do together across our churches, and we're really happy to be involved in that program. That's how we got started.
What is the ultimate objective of this very kind program?
I think the ultimate objective is we see people in absolute peril in another part of the world, and the objective for us is to bring them to safety, and not only to bring them to safety, but to give them a home and a community and to help them to settle and to make a new life in Canada.
How and why did this initiative get started?
Our church has a long history of supporting families or anybody that's in need around the world. And so the first refugee families that we sponsored was back in the late 1970s, and it was a Vietnamese family. And at that time, there was a lot of people who left Vietnam on the boat, and they ended up in refugee camps in Hong Kong, Malaysia, around that part of the world. So we sponsored one of the families that came. And over the years, we have sponsored many different families in South America, Middle East, like Iran, Iraq, Mexico, and now the latest one was from Syria.
How successful is this program in your view, given the original objectives?
I feel it's really successful. We've been able to help a number of families over the decades get resettled here in Canada and rebuild their lives. It's a wonderful opportunity to give people a new start, a fresh start in life.
Besides Syrian refugees, were there any other refugees that have been sponsored? If so, what country were they from?
Well, my church had not sponsored anyone before, and when we asked if we could sponsor a Syrian family, they were still waiting for those applications to come in because it was very at the beginning of the conflict. So they asked us if we would sponsor a young man from Iran, and we said yes immediately because it was really good training for us as a congregation to learn how to do that. So that was a wonderful opportunity before the family came from Syria.
Please identify all of the entities or parties involved in the sponsorship of Syrian refugees.
Well, once the initiative, we brought it to our congregation, people were just very, very generous with their time, with donating money, and always very concerned as to what help they can help. So people would let them stay in their home when they first come if the accommodation is not ready. If we found housing, people would donate furniture and maybe collect them and set the house up and meet them at the airport to pick them up. If we need interpretation in terms of language, people would gather, whoever can speak the language. And we learn about the culture too of different people coming from different parts of the world. Say, for example, with our Syrian family, we know that their diet, like they need halal meat, so we would go out and seek different places. And so for us, it's also a very good learning experience that we learn about different cultures, and it's very fulfilling. Yeah.
Why did you choose to sponsor Syrian refugees?
Probably like others here, we saw in the news the death of little Alan Kurdi right on September 2nd, and our kids were getting ready to go back to school, and our hearts were just pulled out with grief for the families who suffered that loss. And we wanted to do something about it immediately. I preached on it the following Sunday, and we had a family come forward with a very generous gift, around $10,000, to provide sponsorship. And so we started looking for partners to help at that time.
How did this program impact your church's congregation?
My church was suddenly given an opportunity to look beyond our own four walls and outside of our own local community to help people from much further afield. And it meant that many people could participate and feel that they had a way to contribute, whether it was giving money or driving or filling out paperwork or buying gifts. There were so many different ways that they could participate. And now that we've started this process, we want to keep doing it.
How many families and individuals were sponsored?
We have a long history of sponsoring families. So from Asia, the Vietnamese family, to South America and the Middle East and Iran, Iraq, Syria, and we will continue to sponsor families as much as we can, because there's a lot of needs around the world, and we basically we don't choose what we sponsor. We just look at what's the most need, and that's we'll do.
My name is Adham. I'm from Syria. I arrived Canada around 5 years ago. I want to talk about my experience helping Welcome Stranger Group as interpreter. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, everyone, for inviting me here. My experience with them, helping the church with the Syrian family, that's helped me, that's helped myself and my family as well, to understand Canadian community, Canadian culture more, and how to be part of it. It's I'm really glad, my wife, kids, and I, when we see people from other countries as a religion help people from my country as a Syrian when we really need. It's it's amazing. I can't explain my feeling, wife, when we reach Canada and meet these people, as well the other church, Doris, Nicola, Steve, everyone. I don't have time to thank everyone. Thanks for having me between you. I learn a lot from you guys. Thanks for all the chairs, no way to name the chairs. I'm very happy to be one of you as a sponsor. Thank you again.
All right. Hi, my name's Laura Hogue, and I'm part of Welcome the Stranger. And I have to say that this opportunity to help to sponsor refugees has been one of the most meaningful in my life. And just the friendship and the love that we feel with our Syrian friends, and we now say family. We say we're sisters. It's just something that I hope other people will grasp on too. It's something that I think we're all called to, is to love our neighbors. And so thank you for the opportunity.